Are you feeling behind in life because you didn't go to college or you went and you weren't able to graduate? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you the top 3 ways on how you can be successful without a college degree. So what's going on, guys? This is Uzziah, your success consultant, and in today's video, I'm going to bust down all of the myths about a college degree. Now, first and foremost, I want you to think about some of the most successful people that have ever lived, especially in a business and financial sense. Many of them did not graduate from college. You look at Bill Gates, you look at Mark Zuckerberg, you look at Henry Ford. There's tons and tons of people that have been tremendously successful without a college degree. And there's so many people today in the world that feel that they just have to have a college education in order to have a good job, in order to be able to make a lot of money. And the sheer reality of that is it's just not true. I've seen this time and time again in society, and I want to show you how to be successful without having a degree. So the first thing that you really need to focus on is the power of having a specialized skill. Because the marketplace does not reward you based upon the degree that you have. The market rewards you based upon the value that you can give to the marketplace, okay? And value is driven by your skill. What skill do you have, and how important is that skill in terms of being able to be scarce in the world, right? So I want you to think about something. You know, if you go into a hospital right now and you see a general practitioner, and then you go up maybe 2 or 3 floors, and then you got open heart surgeons running around, who do you think makes more money? The guy that's a general practitioner or the one that has that specialized area of focus? Well, it should be pretty apparent to you and anybody else that's ever been in a hospital that the open heart surgeon is making a lot more money than the general practitioner. Why? Because they have a specialized area of focus. Think about this. How in demand are open heart surgeons in the world? How rare is it to find someone that can perform that skill set? Now, you might say, oh, well, you say that, but that type of person would have to go to school and get an education, and they would have to go to med school and blah, 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 blah. Just follow what I'm saying in this analogy before you troll me on this subject, okay? You got to be able to have a skill. And a skill and a degree are not one in the same. There are multitudes of industries in the world today where you can have an acquired skill without needing to have a degree, right? So even take technology, for example. Is it possible that you could learn incredible technological skills without having to go to college to get a college degree? Absolutely. You've got all types of online resources. You've got all types of books that's out there in the world. You've got all types of people that you could take upon as mentors to learn how to be able to gain these skills. So you don't have to feel like just because you didn't go to college, you're completely doomed. In fact, I want to share something with you. And I myself am a college graduate. But the majority of the money that I have made post-education has been on the back of the self-education that I went through rather than the formal education that I experienced in college, okay? There was a famous quote that Jim Rohn gave regarding this subject. He said, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. So whether you have a college degree or not, both parties of people must focus on gaining a specialized skill set in order to be competitive in this world. If you want to walk away making good money over time, it's not going to be about the school that you went to and the degree that you had. It's going to be about how rare your skill set is in the world and how good you are at it. If you go to college and you major in underwater basket weaving, does someone want to pay you six figures based upon that degree? Chances are probably not, right? Because again, in putting this theorem to the test, it's showing you that people are not just concerned about where you went to school, people are concerned with what you have to offer, okay? So the second point is this. If you want to be successful, right? If you want to be able to make sure that you have, a good enough career path that's going to be able to provide for you, your family, your community, etc., you need to start being effective at being a good communicator in the art of persuasion, okay? Here's what I'm saying. Anything that you want out of life requires some degree of communication as well as persuasion. If you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're going to be telling people about, some really good product that you have, some really good service that you have to know how to be able to communicate the value that you can share with others. Don't just think that because of the fact that, you got some product or some service that the item that you have to sell is just going to sell itself. In many cases, it's not, right? You're going to have to know how to be able to put it in front of the right people and how to be able to communicate it in such of a way to where they're persuaded to want to give your product a try, okay? Any salesman will tell you that the number one skill that you really need to learn in a business is persuasion. Because if you don't know how to get people on your team to be able to buy your products or your services, your business is never going to go very far. And even if you're not going to be a business owner, don't you have to have effective communication on an interview? Don't you have to have effective communication during any kind of negotiation? Don't you have to have effective communication if you're choosing a spouse, right? A life partner to grow with? In every facet of life, communication and persuasion has its place. And so these are, again, skills that you can learn without having a college degree. You could take a Toastmasters class. You could read books on persuasion. You got books like Influence by Cialdini. You got books like The Art of Persuasion. You could just study other businesses and the marketing that they use, not to scam people, because you want to be able to have a business that's actually delivering massive value to the world, because massive value is what's going to bring you massive checks. But all the value in the world will mean nothing if you don't know how to be able to communicate that value to the next person, okay? So the third and final point that's really so key for those of you guys that didn't go to college and you're trying to capitalize on success in life is making sure that you stay out of debt. I'm telling you, this is going to be the number one competitive advantage primarily for those that did not go to college. You might be feeling right now that you're so upset and you're so sad. Oh, this person is ahead of me in life because they went to college. BS. Trust me, I went to college and I know plenty of people that graduated from college that had to go back home and living with their parents. I know plenty of people that graduated from college and upon finishing their degree, which could have even been in a good industry, they could not find a job because they lacked the communication that I'm telling you about today. They didn't have the skill set already from their college path. You have to learn it sometimes on the job if you're not self-educating. And thirdly, guess what? They had to start working at jobs that didn't even require a degree in the first place. They were working at Starbucks and all these other positions. Why? Because they needed to hurry up and start making money so that way they could start paying off their massive student loan debt. I'm telling you, the number one competitive advantage that you can have if you did not go to college is being debt-free. Because for many people, like myself, that graduated from college, we were loaded with tremendous amounts of student loan debt. The only difference was when I graduated from college and I had almost $100,000 in student loan debt. I paid off my student loans in full within 2 years after graduating, right? But that's kind of a rare thing. Most people, they get stuck with student loans and they're talking about holding on their student loans for the rest of their life, right? And so that's going to be an economic advantage that you're going to have. Because many of these same people that are carrying student loans into their grave, guess what? They're going to have to work at a job that they really don't like for the rest of their life, all because of the fact that they're going to have to keep paying Sally Mae. They're never going to be able to weave into a better life situation. Why? Because they're always going to have to focus on paying off the next man with debt that they never tried to get rid of. So if you want to put yourself in a good life situation, stay out of debt. I'm going to say this again. Stay out of debt. If there's one thing that I could have taught myself very early in my life, it would have been stay out of debt at all costs. Especially if you're getting yourself into a debt where making money from that debt is not guaranteed. Okay? But stay out of debt. And then the next thing that I would have taught myself is focus on the importance of self-ownership. Focus on being your own boss. Focus on creating your own streams of income in this life so that way you can gain some level of financial independence. So that way you won't have to go to a job that you can't stand. So that way you won't have to do things that you want to do, deal with people you don't want to deal with. You've got to get these things down now, okay? So to reflect on the top 3 ways on how you can be successful in life without a college degree, and this is a bonus one, just stop crying about not having a college degree. Deprogram yourself from the myth that's being peddled in society that you have to have a college degree in order to be successful. If that were the case, why is Bill Gates a billionaire right now? He didn't have a college degree. Why did certain people drop out of college? How come certain people never went to college in the first place? Right? Now, this is not to say that every single person that didn't go to college is massively successful. This is not to say that there's not some level of college graduates that are out there making money. But what I'm trying to share with you is that a college degree does not cause success, okay? In order for you to gain success, you've got to be able to be very skilled. And the more that you can acquire a specialized skill that is rare in this life, the more money you will make. Second to that, and you're always going to have a great job, right? Because you're always going to be in high demand. But if you only know skills that everybody else on the planet knows, well, it's going to be easy to pass you by. If you know skills that a machine can just replicate in 2 seconds tops, it's going to be easy to pass you by. So learn skills that are in high demand, that's rare in the world, that is hard to duplicate. Secondly, you need to be an effective communicator. Master the art of persuasion. If you want to be able to make more money and gain more resources, you're going to have to be able to communicate with people in exchange for those resources. This is where your networking comes into play. Remember how they have that saying, your network is your net worth? Instead of focusing on giving all this money to Sally Mae, focus on learning how to be an effective communicator. Warren Buffett has said this before. The number one skill that you can gain is effective communication, okay? Because you got to be able to work with other people to get what you want out of life in every facet of life. Number 3, again, recapping. Capitalize on being out of debt. Get out of debt, stay out of debt, use that as the competitive advantage against all these other millions of people that are actually going to college, getting degrees, leaving with massive amounts of debt, but they're always going to be check to check because they're going to not be able to pay off these student loans and they're going to have to be in all these jobs that they really can't stand. You being out of debt is going to start opening up doors for you in new arenas, new careers, new income streams. When everybody else is having to put money hand over fist towards paying a debt, this might be money for you to be able to invest in a business. Maybe it's money to invest in real estate. Maybe it's money for you to put in another investment where you can create passive income. Getting out of debt will open up doors for you, all right? So keep these 3 things in mind. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because this is the only place you're going to be able to get this type of value from somebody that looks like you all for free. Be your brother's keeper. Share this message with the world. Please, we need this in our community. Share this message. Make sure that you subscribe. Click the link below so you can gain access to build your own empire. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care.